Happy Summer League start day. I am Dylan, host of The Assist. Your New Orleans Pelicans prepare to take on the Minnesota Timberwolves today on ESPN2. With that being said, here is your official player profile for the Summer League Pel. First up, we have Isaiah Brockington, a 6'4 guard from Iowa State. He averaged 12, 5, and 2 for the Birmingham Squadron last year. He's a strong guard that shoots 41% from three. When going left, he's a bucket. If he's getting to the basket going left, call it a day. He's a high motor guy that can play the entire game if you need him to, and he'll keep your team sturdy when you are missing from getting a bucket. He will go and get that bucket for you. Next up, we got Keon Brooks Jr., 6'7 forward from Washington. He averaged 19 and 6, being double teamed majority of the game. And he improved on his three-point shooting 38% from the three. The dude is a legit three-level scorer. He desires more so to get to that midi and end game, though. He is strong and sturdy. Athlete. Then we got Jermaine Couisnard, a 6'4 guard from Oregon. He averaged 16, 4, 3, and 2. That's his stat line. The dude dropped 40 on his former team. Shout out to South Carolina. We see you. But boy dropped 40 on you guys just to prove a point. He's a dog. And he isn't particular great at anything, but he does everything well. Kind of a jack of all trades, master of none type of situation. He could drop 30 every game. Every game if given the opportunity. It might not be the most efficient 30, but you're going to love watching it. After that, we've got Jalen Crutcher, the 6'2 guard from Dayton. He averaged 17, 3, and 5 for the squadron last year. He is a score-first point guard. Now, his shooting percentages took a little bit of a dip this past year in Birmingham, but he improved on what I believe is the most important stat, and that is the plus-minus stat. You never want your point guard hurting your team more than helping your team, and he helped more than hurt. After that, we got Jordan Hall, a 6'7 guard from St. Joseph. He averaged 6'4 and 2 for the Long Island Nets. He's a big guard that can facilitate, rarely makes a mistake, and has a high IQ. He reminds me of the San Antonio Spurs type of situation. He's just the guy that does the right thing, not too flashy, not too much, but gets right to the space and makes it happen. He's that type of guard. If you're into that, that's what you'll get from him. Next up, we got Joey Hauser, 6'9 forward from Michigan State. He averaged 7, 3, and 1. He's a defense-first guy with a 106 defensive rating. He's a long, small forward that can develop into a 3-and-D guy if given the opportunity. He plays hard, which is a skill at this level. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Dante Cunningham. Anybody remember him? That's who he is. And then we got my dog, a 6'5 guard from Connecticut, Jordan Hawkins. He averaged 7, 2, and 1 for the Pels last year. He's a legit shot taker, fearless, and legit shot maker. Bucket. At his best, he was in the Rookie of the Year conversation. His percentages went down, but we know why that happened. But he is the one. 3-level scorer. I'm looking to watch him grow on the defensive end, though. That was the one knock on his game this past year as a Pel, and we know Coach Willie is not going to play anybody that does not value defense. So 2-4, do me a favor and go put these people on notice. You dig? Next up, we got Carlo Makovic, a 6'11", 7-foot center from Bosnia. He averaged 17, 8, and 2 for the squadron last year. Extreme athlete with a solid three-point clip. Averaged about 33% last year, which puts him up in that tilt that you want him to be in. He almost averaged 2 blocks a game. I like it. I'm looking to see this guy break out most in Summer League. He's been kind of the most mysterious of the bunch. Let's see what he's got. Then we got Yves Massey, this year's 7-foot draft pick from Baylor. He averaged 10, 5, and 1.5 blocks. He is an athlete, rim runner, great finisher around the rim too. You're going to love watching this dude. When it touches his hand, he's dunking it at a 61% clip from 2. I like it. I love it. I want to see his motor. I want to see the Derek Lively comp. Then we got Trey Mitchell, a 6'6 guard from South Alabama. He averaged 6, 4, and 1 from Rio Grande Vipers. He's another defense-first guy that has a good defensive rating. He's going to give you everything he's got from the defensive end. Then we got Kevin O'Banner, a 6'8 guard from Texas Tech. He averaged 13, 7, and 1 for the 905. That's the Toronto G League team, if you didn't know. He also had a 112 defensive rating, which he doesn't give you much to view from a shooting standpoint, but he's going to give you effort. And if you can't give me anything else, just give me effort, okay? Next up, we got Joshua Duro, a 6'9 forward from Providence. He averaged 15 and 7. He's very skilled, very polished. He's like a throwback post. If I said guard, I meant to say post. He's like a throwback post. You know, he does everything the right way. He isn't the most athletic. He beats you with IQ, kind of like a Kenny Anderson. I think this is his name. No, what's the guy? Slow-mo type of play. Then you got Antonio Reeves, 6'5" guard from Kentucky, averaging 24 on a 44% three-point clip. Nice handles with the same demeanor as Hawk. Reeves is a natural-born bucket getter. He was overshadowed by Rob Dillingham and Reed Shepherd in Kentucky, but one could say he was the most offensively gifted out of the bunch. If you need a bucket, give the ball to Reeves. Dillingham was going to give you fireworks, which means crazy jumps and finishes at the rim, mid-range. Dillingham was probably my favorite prospect, but Reeves is the most consistent. I'm excited to see a backcourt with him and Jordan Hawkins, to see what that looks like, see who plays point guard, see who plays off guard, see if they switch it up a little bit. I say all that to say, my breakout watches for this Summer League is going to be Carlo Makovic. I believe he's got a point to prove, and there is a specific space for him to carve himself out and to make this Pelicans roster legitimately. We don't have a center right now. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the free agent, to the trade, but we literally are centerless unless you're into Daniel Theis being your starting center, or if you're into a 7-foot rookie and Yves Messi being your starting center. If that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. Go forth and prosper. I prefer to have someone else that I know can bring me something more. We don't know what's going to happen with the Brandon Ingram situation, so this is an opportunity for Carlo to go out and prove a point that he deserves to be on this Pelicans team. My MVP of the Summer League team for the Pels, and honestly for the whole league, honestly, because the dude is a bucket, is my dude Hawk. I said what I said. Dylan's so biased. Ew. Get over it. The dude's a bucket, and he's going to prove a point. For all the smart statisticians, watch this. Watch this. Put them on notice, Hawk. Let them know what we're talking about. This has been another snippet, episode, whatever you want to call it, for the assist. Love. God bless. Hee hee.